Ryu Ga Gotoku Studio's games are considered one of the most successful Japanese games, although the studio's production of games has increased in recent years, moving between the main series, which are Yakuza and Like a Dragon, to the Judgment series and some subparts of Yakuza, such as Like a Dragon Ishin. But it still maintains the impressive amount of quality and value it provided to its fans. You pay $70 for a game, and in return, you get an unprecedentedly deep and rich experience with side and main content. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth continues this great trend in gaming delivery. But it also comes up with the challenge of being the biggest new Yakuza sequel in years. Was it worth the wait? Here's my Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth review. The story revolves around a duel tournament between the new hero of the series, Ichiban Kasuga, who took over the baton since the last part, Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon, and the beloved classic hero of the series, Kiryu Kazuma, as their stories begin separately and quickly converge over time. Infinite Wealth has a slow opening, lasting 3 to 5 hours until the main events really kick in, and has up to 50 hours of gameplay, including a lot of forced side content and interjected activities. Because this game has a typical way of presenting side content, which is to introduce it to you in a story mission, try you to do some of it, and then take you back to the main story path. This has been around for a long time in the games of the series, but due to the abundance of side content here, you will find it recurring. And accordingly, it may weaken or strengthen your position of attachment to the story and characters, and thus affect your vision of the experience as a whole. Ichiban's story revolves around his search for his mother, with whom he lost contact a long time ago. A search that leads him to Hawaii, specifically the coastal city of Honolulu, to be one of the largest maps of the series throughout its history. But at the same time, the story of Kiryu takes place in Japan, where he confronts his past and the series tries to present. The final chapter in his life from the perspective of Ichiban's naive, life-loving character is something that makes the story interesting and naturally brings a touch of comedy to the game's darkest moments, due to the two characters' radical differences. Kiryu's personality is serious and loyal, reminiscent of classic gangsters. He has done heinous things in the past and wants to atone for them. He always feels guilty and people always fear him. As for Ichiban, he is a cheerful character who clings to his love of life in the darkest of circumstances. He loves wasting time and loves getting to know people and talking to them at all times. But he is also a strong and stubborn personality and has the determination to reach his goal. Sometimes this contrast puts our heroes in a funny position, and sometimes it serves the story beautifully, making it one of the most beautiful stories presented in the series. The game has an excellent story, full of dramatic moments that long-time fans of the series will appreciate. The basic ideas of the story are friendship and companionship, and a personal journey for each of the two heroes, in which the other accompanies him with all their differences. This journey was something fun and epic, and the best thing about it is the narration method that shows the skill of the developing studio in writing stories. Without forgetting the amount of content and side activities that parts of the series usually provide, it is a game in which you can forget yourself for weeks on end. The game uses its story to comment on new phenomena in Japanese society and the extent to which young people are influenced by American culture. I felt this in Honolulu, Hawaii, where it was shown in a way that made me feel like I was seeing and living in it from the perspective of a young Japanese man and not as it really is. A huge world and multiple side activities. There is one addictive side activity that took me 8 hours to finish. A strong, fun fighting style that is better than the previous parts by all standards. Now you can move freely and adjust the angle of your character, while directing strikes which makes their impact greater. Hitting from behind an enemy deals more damage, as does hitting next to walls and other characters. Among the side activities is Dondoko Island, which is a mini-game similar to Animal Crossing, where you take over the management of an entertainment island, rebuild it, clean it of waste, and earn money from it. This game took me more than 10 hours to reach advanced levels, and I think there is more for me to try. There are 3 to 4 activities of this excellent type, the quality of which we have not seen before in the series. There is a side activity of delivering food in the Crazy Taxi style. Another activity of photographing vital points in the city while riding the tram, and other extremely fun activities. Infinite Wealth offers deep social and economic systems. There are many ways to earn and spend money in a way that makes you feel valuable. The social system strengthens relationships through interacting with and talking to friends. These side dialogues give a deeper context to the story and provide you with abilities that you can implement during combat that make it more fun and easy. Combat is based on the job system. There are jobs held by each opponent or friend, and with each job comes a new distinctive feature that makes the character noticeably different in his fighting style from the rest. The game map is large and varies between Hawaii and Japan, and the diversity of environments is the largest in the series. And transportation is by tram or Segway, which is a bit like the skateboard in Lost Judgment, but with a battery that runs out and can be charged. This navigation system comes about due to the large size of the Hawaii map and the wide range of activities it has. For the second time in the studio's games, I feel that the game offers an alternative to riding vehicles. As in the past, what I most wished for in the series was for it to offer the possibility of riding cars, similar to GTA and Sleeping Dogs. The game graphics are excellent. I never imagined that I would be impressed with a game in the series because it was never one of the games that depended on visual dazzle. But in all honesty, this time I felt that I was facing a truly new generation game. Everything has an enormous amount of detail, from the fabrics of the clothes to the streets and floors, to the solar lighting and the effect of its fall on the roofs, all the way to the characters, their figures, faces, and their various expressions. Body movements also witnessed great realism in their execution. The English dubbing is good. Personally, I was annoyed by the necessity of constantly looking at the translation, so I was happy to present the English dub from the first day here, and it was of an excellent standard, except for the performance of the character Kiro Kazama, which was mediocre.
This brings back memories.
Carrillo's English voice performance was not convincing. Problems with pacing. Sometimes the game kills enthusiasm by introducing an obligatory side quest to introduce a new type of content. The game's side characters were level fluctuating. Some of them received too much focus, as if the developer did not know which characters he wrote were better than others. Side dialogues suffer from being overly long at times.
You're Ichiban Kasuga. Nice to meet you.
Ichiban Kasuga.
Do you have to play any old sequel to experience Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth? The answer is yes. The story requires great knowledge of the past parts of the Yakuza series, but you can just play the past 2 parts, which they are, Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, and Yakuza, Like a Dragon. Do I advise you to buy the game? Yes. If you love the series and its style of combining deep stories with entertaining and comedic content, then you will definitely love Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. In the end, I can say that Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is the most ambitious game in the series, and a more successful step in transforming the game from action to role-playing with turn-based combat. The game has succeeded in making it a fun and entertaining combat system, while presenting a story and 2 characters among the best in the series games industry.